So I was out having a coffee and walking back towards my office. There's a big open square. So I was just coming into the square, and then you just got blasted a bit back, and windows was flying out, glass behind me, in front of me, and then all of the city just went totally quiet. So we saw up towards the government building, some smoke was coming out. So I started walking towards the government building. Then people was coming, out of the building and out of the square. People bleeding, people carrying other people, telling, "Don't go up there. There's people lying dead on the square." And I just stopped and waited for the police and ambulances and things to come, because it was.
And by the way, we've checked your number. You are in Norway right now. Now, sir, you told our office specifically, appreciate your courage after being shook up by this. Just as Kurt Haskell and his wife were in Amsterdam and saw the disheveled, appeared to be drugged, underwear bomber, Christmas Day bomber, being gotten on the plane by a sharp-dressed man with an American English accent. And then they saw the whole firecracker bomb, the men filming it on board, the fake bomb threat once they landed. The government said that was a lie for a month and a half. Then the State Department had to admit, indeed, they were ordered by an unnamed U.S. intelligence agency to get Muttalib on the plane. So we have info warriors everywhere at every event now. You are that man. You told our crew something about men in black uniforms sweeping the area the night before. Tell us about that. And if we find out there was a drill in the area, just like Mumbai, just like Bali, it's always the same. It came out in Chicago Tribune. The Bali thing was connected to the CIA. So, sir, you've got the floor. Then we'll have Bob Chapman and Paul Watson ask you questions. Robert, do you want to put your full name on air so we can get a report out on this? Or do you not want to put your full name out? It just adds a lot of credibility if you do.
Yeah, I'll give you my full name and, address and stuff. I live in the center of Oslo. I live, I guess, 1.5 kilometers from the blast, so everything's just quiet around here. I'm also just called into the civil defense, so I don't, want to disclose my whole name, and I sort of have to be there a bit soon. But the thing with the uniforms, I know about the underwear bomber, I know about false flag operations and so on. So I've been, by your guidance, just following what's going on and things. There's been talk about more chatter, things happening in Norway and so on the internet, maybe terrorists and these things. So I'm sort of shook enough. I get my things from the office, then go back home. Then I start switching between TV channels, and then one of the channels says, there's an unconfirmed report that yesterday or last night, men in black unmarked uniforms was searching the area around the media building, the VG, a big newspaper in Norway, and the government building just around the area where the blast was. Then they switched to, of course, the other news. I don't know. Have you gotten anything? What's happened, Alex?
Yes, we're getting Paul Watson's tracking it, Kurt Nemo's tracking it, but specifically, you're saying on Norwegian television they did report there was some type of bomb sweep last night in the area. Can you remember? I know you're a little shook up after the bombing that you witnessed and you live in the area. Robert, can you give us the name of the TV station?
Yes, it was TV2.
TV2. So that's state-run media, isn't it?
No, NRK is the state-run media. TV2 is commercial.
Okay, commercial.
Yeah, but, it's the same guys, I guess.
Got it. Okay, so TV2, commercial channel specifically, because we're going to look into this. Paul Watson's listening right now. Specifically, exactly, what did they say about the men in the black uniforms?
No, they just said that they had reports that someone was sweeping the area yesterday. Not very detailed, just as a by sentence. That's why. But I have to elaborate on there's not only a terror bombing here in Oslo now.
A terror shooting, a blonde-haired Al-Qaeda, which you know we've been talking about them rolling out to now flip it from the Muslims to the white people or the Al-Qaeda. No one is safe. We've got to report on everybody. Yes, sir. Tell us about the summer camp and the white Al-Qaeda.
Yeah, because the government has this youth camp every year. It's quite popular. They always have newscasters and stuff showing on TV because it's by far the biggest single party. They the last report now said that this guy was gathering them, telling that holding a gun. He said because of what happened in Oslo and he had a machine gun, not just a pistol, but he had a machine gun, and then he just started massacring them. He just started shooting.
Thank you for watching hangmansnews.com.